Hello YouTube, I'm you, back with another video. This is my 7th time recording this video. So let's hope, 7 times the charm, let's get it right this time. Yeah. So today I'm going to show you guys a little money making method thing that should work for everyone. I'll show you guys a few methods on how to do it, and this should be very useful for people who don't have a consistent money making method or the gear to get into the interesting world of mining. So this video will be split into a few different parts. I'll be going in order of the least expensive to the most expensive methods, and I'll be telling you about how you can do it, what you need, and a bit about how much it makes. So without further ado, yeah, on to the video. So we're in the hub, because before we can get into the method, there's a few things we need to get set up first, right? So the first thing you want to do is you're going to go over here to Elizabeth and get yourself a god potion. This is pretty mandatory for like playing Skyblock at all. So if you don't have this already, go grab one and use it. So we're here in the end today because the method we're going to be doing to make ourselves that fat stacks of cash is a classic, the good old summoning eye grinding. You know, where you hit the funny enderman and they spawn with an end portal frame. So this method, although since Zealot bruisers came into play, and making like a bit less money, this is still a great money making method for people who don't have a consistent one, need to grind at Final Destination. This is just a very useful method in general, and it makes me pretty decent money myself. So the first way we're going to be doing this is just the cheapest way. It's only going to cost you like 200,000 coins or so, and it's using an aspect of the end. The aspect of the end is just teleport sword. So what you're going to want to do is just walk up to the enderman and hit him, and then you teleport to the next one and you hit him too. And at this point, I'm going to be assuming that with an aspect of the end, you don't have access to the Zealot Bruiser hideout, so this first few methods will be out here. Although if you can do them in the hideout, the double-ish summoning eye chance is very helpful. But yeah, with the aspect of the end, you just hit the Zealots and then teleport, and you hit them again. That is simple as that. You do that until you get a summoning eye. And once you get a summoning eye, everything's golden. Okay, so the next method we're going to be trying, I'll be showing you guys, is a bit more expensive because you're going to need both an aspect of the end and the famed mythical aspect of the dragons. So this sword has a special ability called Dragon Rage, which will allow you to basically one-shot multiple endermen at once. So combining this with the aspect of the end's teleport ability, we'll be able to teleport around and hit endermen for big damage. So using both the aspect of the end and the aspect of the dragon together, you're just going to be teleporting around and using your ability. Now this is kind of mana intensive, so you're probably going to want a mana set for this. I just realized I'm wearing no set. Okay, so we're back with a mana set. So anyway, as I was saying before, you just teleport around, switch to your aspect at the end, and use the ability. And it's like the aspect of the end ability or method where you just teleport around them, except instead of hitting them, just use your ability, which gets you special zealots, and that makes you 500k or so per. And so if you keep this up, and here, you should be able to get a decent amount of summoning eyes, especially since the end was split into 2 sections now. Less people are going to be competing for these eyes, which is great for you, and great for people who are farming the bruisers. But yeah, keep this method up here. This method only costs you about 1.2 million or something. I'm pretty sure that's the price. Wise Dragon set might cost you a bit more, a bit less, depending on the armor set you choose. The armor set doesn't really matter that much, but it's useful to have. So anyway, with that, on to the next method. So the next method is another mana intensive method. So what we're going to be doing here is switching our thing are tuning to Scythe. Scythe is a pretty cheap one, and then you're just gonna like change out your tuning points to intelligence. That's what I'm doing from maximum intelligence, because a lot of our methods right now are intelligence based. So if you haven't done that for the previous methods, you can do that for extra damage and more mana to use. The next method is the amazing and absurdly cheap Aurora Staff. See, this staff just shoots a beam that has a 1 second cooldown or so. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 1 second cooldown. But it basically will insta kill any zealots, and this will only cost you 2.5 mil. The range is pretty good. So yeah, it's like the aspect of the end method, except no teleporting this time. This time you just run around and you click every 1 second or so. I'm pretty sure the beam doesn't pierce. The beam does not pierce. So you're gonna have to be hitting zealots individually. And just run, all you're gonna be doing is running around, hitting zealots every once in a while with the arcane zap. And this is how you're gonna be grinding summoning eyes. This is for people who have a bit of money, a bit more money than the last few methods, and have a lot of mana. Well, a decent amount of mana. You don't need too much because the cooldown gives you a chance to recharge. Anyway, this next method is a personal favorite of mine. It's the Juju Shortbow method, where you're going to be using a Juju to shoot Endermen because this bow can. So while doing this method, I recommend you have 2/4 terror armor, because this armor basically effectively makes it after 10 kills, you start shooting 2 extra arrows, which is very useful for summoning eye grinding. I'm using Necron, but you can use any really damaging set at this point. Remember, the Juju's requirement to use it is Enderman Slayer level 5. So if you wanna get that, you gotta get that requirement first. So this method isn't really that expensive in the money department, because Terror is only gonna cost you about 2 million, and the Juju is 10 million or so. You might want to pick one up now, even if you can't use it though. If you plan to use it in the future, because price is going back up. So yeah, this is the method we're gonna be using. This is the method I use actually a lot myself. I personally use 2/4 Final Destination. I use this to get the kills up on it, because if you have Juju use, you have Final Destination. I totally recommend using Final Destination to get your kills up while doing this. But if you can't damage enough to kill the zealots without using like a damage set or anything, feel free to use that. It doesn't change the efficiency. It's just you're not multitasking. So for this method, you're just gonna be running around and shooting. Simple as that. Once you get your 10 kills, you'll start shooting 3 arrows at once, which is very useful for killing Endermen. I personally do this method in the Bruiser hideout because of this increased summoning eye chance. Also, I have an Enderman pet, which further increases it. I'm personally not using the Enderman pet in this examples because the price tag is a little bit high. So if you can afford that, I highly recommend that, using a legendary for the summoning eye boosting abilities. But it's not needed, not necessary, unless you're just going all out for summoning eye grinding for some reason, or you're me. So some extra information with Juju, because Juju grinding is a bit different because it's a short bow. You're going to want to up your attack speed. For me, I have a Crochet Tiger plushie on my pet for the 35 attack speed from that, and my Reforge is set to Itchy, and my tuning is to attack speed. That is completely unnecessary, but it's what I do for maximum attack speed, so you can just spam and use it as much as you want. If you're going to be using this method, you're also going to be running through eyes a lot, or running through arrows a lot. So you're going to want to maybe have Jax's number in your Abby phone. Get that by just talking to him with an Abby phone and doing his challenge a 4th time, or paying whatever random price tag you set on it. So yeah, that's the simple Juju method. This is one I use myself. This one made me like 15 mil or so an hour to 20 million. Depends on your RNG, if you're having a good day or bad day. Remember, everything in this money making method is RNG based, so you can have horrible days where you do this and you get nothing, or you can have amazing days where you get summoning eye after summoning eye after summoning eye, and it's like all stars aligned for you. So yeah, just keep that in mind when doing these methods. It's not 100% effective, but they're a very nice little money making method if you don't have any other one. So the next method we're going to be using is a certified classic, the frozen Scythe method, which is another mana method. So if you want to do anything, you want to talk to Maxwell, switch your thing back to sighted if you haven't already. If you don't have it, get sighted, and for maximum intelligence, because this also increases your damage. And the method is, the way this works is very similar to one we've done before. Aurora Staff, just run around and you shoot at the target. I just now realizing that is the same for every way we're doing this. Just run around and shoot at the target. So with Frozen Scythe, you're just gonna be shooting at the Zealots. You're gonna have to get a bit closer to them. And once you've done that, just let it loose. These Frozen Scythe pellets, Scythe shards or whatever, blasts, I don't know, bolts. They pierce through Zealots, so if you're doing enough damage, you can kill multiple at once, which is very useful. This is a bit more mana heavy, but it's also being a lot better than the Aurora Staff, because you don't have a cooldown, so you can just go ham. So yeah, same as the other methods, just run around, shoot the Zealots, and get money. So for these next few methods, we're going to be officially switching to the Zealot Bruiser hideout, just for the fact that it's a lot easier, and it's just generally better than being in the main end. Also, I'm going to be switching my pet to Enderman pet, just to help emphasize like the usage of this. If you're going all in and you want to get this, it gives you extra summoning on chance and everything. So the next method, as you see, I just misclicked and used it, is the Fire Veil wand. This one, gonna cost you 12 million or so, and so you're just gonna run around, turn it on, and just run by Zealots. It is as simple as that. Make sure you reactivate it every time it's over, and that is all you do. Run around the Zealot Bruiser hideout, turn on your Fire Veil. Make sure you stay by the Zealot for at least a split second, because tick speed and all that, and server lag. And you should be racking up summoning eyes just like that. This is a pretty decent method for its price. Personally, I combine it with one of the other methods. This is more like a sidearm. You can do your other methods and just swap to Fire Veil, and then just keep hitting. It like exponentially increases your efficiency rather than just using Fire Veil alone. But if you can't afford anything else and you want something like this, the Fire Veil is pretty useful. You just gotta run by the Zealots. The only disadvantage is you have to stay by them for a bit in order to have them actually die, because of the servers lag and all that stuff. Very connection based. The final method we're going to be using is a classic well-known weapon that we all know, the Hyperion. This method, you're just going to be doing the same thing as all the other methods, except with the Hyperion. And so you're just going to be running around, teleport between Zealots. I find this very effective for killing mass amounts, although the mana cost of Hyperion is insanely high. I recommend using this thing with a bow, because using that you won't be using your mana all the time. You give it time to recharge. Combined with the Hyperion, if you have a Gauntlet of Contagion or Implosion Belt or something like that, it should definitely help with AoE damage with the Hype, allowing you to kill a lot of things. Although if you have a Hyperion, I don't understand why you'd be doing summoning eye grinding, unless you're me. So this is the last method I had to show you guys myself. There are a few other methods that I haven't tried out myself that I know about, that I'll mention briefly before I get to the end of this video. So the first method I like to mention is the Precursor Eye, which costs you an absurd 68 million coins for some reason. This method, you're just going to be wearing a 3/4 mana set, running around spamming crouch while using Precursor Eye, and shoot a laser to kill Zealots wherever you look. It's effectively just the Aurora Staff or Frozen Scythe with an absurd price tag on it. Although the range of it is, I'm pretty sure, a lot greater, and it is an insta-shot instead of having to fly there. So it's basically the Aurora Staff for 10 10 times the price or so. So the next method is the Spirit Scepter. I'm not sure how it works personally. I've never used the Spirit Scepter, but I have seen friends use it and make a decent amount of money from summoning eye grinding. Spirit Scepter will cost you like 12 million or so. And my friends say it's a pretty good method, so I'll take their word for it and mention it here. And the last method I have to mention, which is basically the Juju method, but for an absurd price tag, is the Terminator method. It's just the Juju method, but you could use a Terminator instead, and you cry because your bank account is empty after using this. If you have a Terminator, you can go. I recommend you use that over a Juju just from the natural 3 arrows. Maybe you'll be able to use a different armor set or something, or maybe you want to use Terror to shoot 5 arrows at once. I don't know. It's up to you. But this method is absurdly overpriced if you're just buying a term to grind summoning eyes. So that's about all the methods I know right now for making money grinding summoning eyes. Summoning eyes will sell for about 500k per, so pretty decent money if you have a good enough luck and you feeling lucky and want to go do that. I hope this method helps out some people, maybe get some more people back in the classic arts of summoning eye grinding. So if any of you guys decide to take up summoning eye grinding, remember to respect the other people grinding. Make it easier on all of us. Don't try stealing stuff from people, kicking people out of lobbies, being unnecessarily rude to people when they're just trying to make some money like you are, you know? Keep everything friendly, make this place better, you know? The final things before I end the video, if you wanna join the Discord in the description, Hyperion Fund, we offer free carries. We're a charity for Hypixel Skyblock, you know, we give out free money. I'm also gonna be giving away all the money I made from this video while recording this away in the Discord right now. It's probably gonna be ended by tomorrow. So if you want to enter that real quick, join the Discord, link in the description. We give out money practically every day for people who need money, people who want money, just everyone, making Hypixel Skyblock a better place. So yeah, that's about all for the video. Thank you guys for watching this thing. If you feel like you want to like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. Anyway, until next time, peace.